it looks like Andrew Tate has decided to take an L in this fight. I just made a video, and that video was Andrew Tate on Candace Owens' platform, and he was talking about the investigation that has just been put in place for him and his brother by the Attorney General of Florida. And that investigation is pushed by Ron DeSantis. But it looks like Andrew has decided to, you know what, there's no point in me starting another fight. And from Breaking Point, it says Andrew Tate flees US after Florida opens investigation. Is that true?
All right, let's get over to the Tate brothers. And so let me just say this at the top. I have not had the time to explicitly parse every statement by Andrew Tate, every one of his human trafficking claims, or all of that. I do know that he has definitely advocated some stuff that I definitely am against, and of which I guess the Romanian authorities found and bear investigation. But the funniest thing that I have seen now so far is this civil war happening right now over Andrew Tate's basically fleeing / vacationing, according to him, back to the United States, and a split overall in the conservative movement, where many people, we had Allie Beth Stuckey on the show, for example, to be like, hey, actually, no, Andrew Tate is not really a male model at all for anybody who is conservative or wants to see like family life, or, I could go down the list in terms of so many of the different things that the guy has said. But the split now has opened up a fight legally here in America, where the Attorney General of the state of Florida said he is going to pursue an investigation of Andrew Tate, specifically around these human trafficking allegations. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, look, these guys have themselves publicly admitted to participating in what very much appears to be soliciting, trafficking, preying upon women around the world. Many of these victims coming forward, some of them minors, people can spin or defend however they want. But in Florida, this type of behavior is viewed as atrocious. We're not going to accept it. They chose to come here and set their feet down in this state, and we're going to pursue every tool we have within our legal authority to hold them accountable. So we are in the process today. We have secured and executed subpoenas and warrants, and we're going to continue to move forward with full force of law. This is an ongoing criminal investigation, and we're going to use every tool we have to ensure that justice is served.
Do you open a criminal investigation?
There is an active criminal investigation, yes.
Do you believe that can you give me any details of what?
I can't comment on a pending investigation, but what I can tell you is if these guys did criminal activity here in Florida, we will go after them with the full force of law and hold them accountable.
So the Florida.
Wow. So that is a Florida AG. Thankfully, he's not a Democrat. Thankfully, he's on the right. Because imagine if this AG was a Democrat. Oh my God. Oh my God. But thankfully, he's a Republican. He's a Republican. He's still on the right. Because if he was a Democrat, the internet would have been blowing up now. But they're saying Andrew Tate has fled. I saw him on one of these podcasts that he's been on these days, and he was saying he's not going anywhere. I think that was on Patrick Bet-David. He said he's not going anywhere. Even on Candace Owens, he said he was not going anywhere. Has he actually free? Or, as I said in one of my videos, he should just move to a different state. He's an American, so he can live in any state, depending on if the governor actually wants him. So has he really fled?
Attorney General saying there was an active criminal investigation. Andrew Tate then responded. Let's put this up there on the screen. He put out his tweet saying, Ron DeSantis is attacking me because he was worried I would support Byron Donalds over his wife, knowing I have monumental political weight and trust our Commander-in-Chief, President Trump's recommendations completely. They attacked me to prevent me from destroying his wife's political ambitions. Interestingly, I had no interest in Florida politics until I learned how communist the DeSantis administration is. Game on.
You see, that's what I said. You pick fights. You pick fight. Now game on. Are you going to stay and fight, or you're going to run and just make more videos, more videos, more videos? He said game on.
It might surprise everyone to learn that actually even Byron Donalds not really playing ball with all this. So guys, can we go ahead and play E3, please? Let's take a listen.
Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan, because in Romania, where they just came to Florida from, there were charges of rape, sex with minor, and human trafficking. Do you support the Attorney General's actions here?
I do. I think those allegations have to be fully investigated. And that we
Oh. This is a guy Andrew Tate was saying that he is going to support. And he wants the AG to investigate Andrew Tate. Oh, not good, not good, Andrew, not good. Just pack your bags and leave that place.
we go from there. The key thing is we don't tolerate the trafficking of women or, frankly, the abuse of women. We do not tolerate that. So if the Attorney General finds cause under Florida law to investigate that, then I wish him the best, and I support whatever he's going to do on that matter.
Are Andrew and Tristan Tate welcome in Florida?
No.
Oh, where did he get that? How did he come to the conclusion that Byron Donalds is going to accept his support for governor? How? Now he's just said no. No. How did he come about with that? How did that cross his mind?
Because if you listen to some of the dialogue, I find it to be demeaning and disgusting. That's not about being an alpha male. It's not about being a strong man. What they stand for, in my view, is something totally different.
Woo! All right, so Byron is actually backing up the Attorney General here. So, bit of a plot twist. And Andrew is now saying, Andrew Tate says, let's see, E4, can we put that on the screen, please? He is now claiming that his flight to the United States is, his flight to the United States was just vacation. It's a strange feeling to be so adored that when you go on a 2-week holiday to Miami, the entire world talks about it. It's wild. I'm going back to Romania in a few days. Anyways, so there we go, Crystal. Before I play the crazy Andrew Tate's reaction, but I wanted to get yours first.
Back to Romania is a surprise. I guess he feels like
he's under investigation there. I mean, I wouldn't want to go back to Romania.
He should go to Saudi Arabia, definitely.
I mean, it looks very much like the Trump administration intervened directly with the Romanian government. So maybe he feels like he's got more protection in Romania at this point, courtesy of Trump and Rick Grinnell in particular, than he does clearly in the state of Florida. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos floating around, both of things that he has said, which, you know, if acted upon, certainly would constitute criminal behavior, or some of the alleged videos that are floating out there of actual abuse. I mean, it truly is horrifying. So for a party that has any semblance of caring about family values, you can understand why there's some contingent that's like, you know, maybe this guy really isn't the role model that we want to embrace here. And it is utterly disgusting that the Trump administration intervened on behalf of this dude. Like, whatever you think of him, that they spent their diplomatic resources getting this guy free is, I think, just absolutely disgraceful. You know, with regard to the politics of it, it is kind of interesting because I'm curious how you read it, Sagar, but to me, it reads like Ron DeSantis, first of all, I'm sure bitter about the presidential campaign and blah, blah, blah. And he wants his wife to get the Senate seat, right? Or governor? Which one is
Governor.
Governor. Yeah, after he goes. And so there's that piece. But also, I think he's positioning himself for a theoretical post-Trump GOP where, you know, in theory, at least, this is the last time Trump can run for president. And I think DeSantis, perhaps foolishly, is calculating that maybe after this term, there will be a desire for someone who showed a little bit of independence from Trump, had a little bit of principle on something, somewhere that they can point to that was distinct from just being part of, you know, the Trump band of sycophants. But, you know, I'm not really sure that he's right about that, but I do think that that's kind of the calculus that he's engaging in here.
It could be, but then I don't know why Byron Donalds, who is like as MAGA and as Trump as it gets, would back him up. Because, and that's actually the other thing,
I think that's political calculus. I mean, because most people are going to look at this dude and be like, yeah, this is abhorrent. So if he wants to run, you know, if he's running in the state, which he is, I just read that as feeling some political pressure to take a stance against something that would be wildly unpopular politically.
I think it's possible. I will tell you, that whole Trump thing is not confirmed 100%. It was according to the Financial Times. They claim Rick Grenell. Grenell denies it. So that's the only thing that's come back to. Don't forget, I mean, he is an American citizen. He's a dual Romanian American national, has full entry rights to the United States. He can come and go as he please. Not in defense. I'm just saying he's got the U.S. passport. Okay, so he doesn't have to apply or whatever to be released. It is, of course, noting that he was barred from leaving the country for almost 2 years. While that
2 years
continues, like I said, you could spend 90 hours going back and forth, as you said, about there's things on video, there's things he said, he claims never did them. There are people who have anonymously sued him. There are multiple people, I think, in the UK where they want and seek his extradition. I know there is an American unidentified woman who claims to have been, a victim of the so-called human trafficking network, etc. You could even put all that criminal stuff aside and actually just focus purely on all this demonization of family life, marriage, so many of the views that he has espoused in the past. Look, I think he has the right to say them, but I don't think necessarily is a good thing or whatever to be celebrated. And that's part of the reason why I find it pretty annoying. It's also pretty, I had this discussion with Andrew Schultz. It's as much as this guy shits all over America and he's pushing his weird quasi Sharia / it's Islamic hedonism, whatever his brand is. Now, currently, it's oh, you've come back to big bad America whenever it suits you now, doesn't it? As much shit have you talked now over the years. So even pinning down this guy's personal views or whatever is pretty difficult. I find it all pretty abhorrent and gross. I understand why, if you're a 14-year-old dude online, yeah, I get why it might resonate a little bit with you.
because he's got the cars.
Overall, politically,
He's a strong guy. He's
this
got muscles.
administration
Dresses well. Smoke a cigar.
organic pushback against it. I could be wrong, but I do think that the dam has broken a little bit. At least on the conservative commentariat and all of that are backing up DeSantis, and I don't see some grand army that's going to be going against Byron Donalds and or Ron DeSantis for either accepting or pursuing this investigation against the Tate brothers. It is a fascinating saga, though, in and of itself.
Yeah, well, and he was on with Candace Owens and, explaining his
Irate.
position and very upset and whatever. Let's take a listen to a little bit of that.
Arrest me, perp walk me, put me on the news, tell everyone I'm a human trafficker. You think I'm not versed? You think I'm not ready? I'm a Navy SEAL in this shit. Fucking come get me, raid my house, take my stuff. You think I sleep with a full phone full of evidence? You think I don't wipe my phone every night? You think I'm dumb? Come get me, arrest me. Let's do this all over again. I've done it for
Why is he wiping his phone every day?
I was going to say, actually, I do think you're kind of dumb because if you're I don't sleep with a phone full of evidence. I wipe it every night. It's okay, well, what evidence was on there that you're trying to hide? So
that's a little weird.
Really the kind of thing that people...
I've said it. Just stop talking. Why are you wiping your phone every night? Why are you wiping your phone every night? And you're saying it, and Owens is sat there like Andrew. What you just actually said makes people to have question marks. Why are you wiping your phone every night before you go to bed? Because you know that there are things in your phone that you don't want anybody to see. That is the reason why you're wiping your phone. But again, he's a rich guy, he's got money, he's got influence. You use it as it pleases you. But if you keep on with this, it's going to be two ways. You either end up in jail or you end up being killed. It happens. Just stop talking.
People who are innocent
Just stop talking.
these said allegations typically do, but there you go. So
innocent till proven guilty. Yeah. I mean, the tell to me was, oh, I'm going back to Romania. Because I'm okay, well, then you're a lot more. And by the way, you should be more afraid. In Romania, look, I'm only assuming, no offense, Romania, but it seems like a place where you could probably buy your way out of some trouble. You're here in the United States of America. You're going to need a few $1 billion to buy yourself out of trouble, not a few $100 million or whatever from
He says he's good.
marketing schemes. So Anyway, it's fascinating story. We'll continue to keep everybody updated. I'm already sure that this will go extremely viral.
It will. It will go viral.
In terms of all this coverage and this fascination over the Tate brothers. I do recommend everybody go watch our Allie Beth Stuckey interview about Andrew Tate, maybe from a year or two ago. I thought she did an excellent job on that
Yeah,
one.
and she really was kind of a leader on it, because at that point, I think it was much harder for someone who's conservative to come out and say the things and be critical of him in the way that she was.
I said it, Andrew Tate should just go somewhere. Go somewhere in a place where you can just be quiet. Just give it time. Because you just said every night before you sleep, you wipe your phone. You make everybody be like, okay, he wipes his phone. Why does he clean his phone every night? Only a criminal does that. Only a person who knows that what is in your phone, if it's seen by the authorities, you are going to be in big problem. Every time a camera is in his face, he always snitch on himself. And that is how all of these things started. Him snitching on himself. And he's just done it again. He's just done it. Andrew Tate will always be Andrew Tate. Some people never change. Some people will never change. It doesn't matter what they say about them. Some will never change. And they don't learn. They don't. But he's going to learn. Sooner or later, he's going to learn.